If you think you have already seen every edge of your seat thriller, this list will probably prove you wrong. This two-part series digs up 20 forgotten thriller movies that are still shockingly good in 2026, the kind of hidden gems that belong on any best thriller movie watch list. Part 1 counts down numbers 20 through 11, focusing on overlooked thriller movies that still deliver real tension today. And Part 2 finishes the list with the top 10. Hit the I button or check the description for Part 2 so you don't miss the top 10. Number 20, we have A Perfect Getaway, released in 2009. Sunday, drenched beaches and scenic hiking trails set the stage for what begins as a relaxed vacation story.
You know what I heard? People die out here every year. Who knows how? Could be the wages of sin.
What are they looking for?
They found 2 bodies on the beach. Authorities are searching for a man and a woman. Oh, what do you think?
Yet that calm setting slowly turns into a knot of suspicion between the travelers sharing the trip. Timothy Olyphant, Steve Zahn, and Mila Jovovich bring a casual, believable energy that sells the idea of ordinary people enjoying paradise until something starts feeling very wrong, and the result becomes a thriller that relies on conversation, behavior, and subtle clues instead of flashy spectacle. What keeps this one fresh even in 2026 is how the twist grows naturally from the characters themselves, which means the tension builds quietly until the story snaps into place and makes the entire journey worth the ride. Number 19, we have Blue Ruin from 2013. Jeremy Saulnier directs a revenge story that refuses to follow the typical formula, focusing instead on an unprepared man whose attempt at payback spirals into something messy and frighteningly real.
That's how you'll fail.
You're weak.
Hello. And 2 of mine. I don't know how this ends.
I know this is personal.
I'd forgive you if you were crazy, but you're not.
It's me. By my count, that's 2 of yours.
Macon Blair carries the film with a raw performance that captures confusion, fear, and stubborn determination all at once, which turns every decision into a moment that could easily collapse into disaster. What nobody expects at first is how the movie treats violence as clumsy and uncomfortable rather than triumphant, and that shift changes the entire tone, creating a tense character study that lingers long after the credits roll. Number 18, we have The Spanish Prisoner, released in 1997. David Mamet builds this story around a quiet corporate con game where every conversation carries hidden meaning and every friendly gesture might conceal a trap waiting to spring.
We have no idea who anyone is. Like they say at the airport, did anyone give you a package?
Why?
Critics call it David Mamet's best foray into filmmaking.
Mr. told you this story. Would you believe it?
A taut, intriguing tale.
It's the fortune and the girl.
I believe we have a problem.
People aren't that complicated, just...
You mistrust everybody?
Just strangers.
You now have a Swiss bank account, code word Patty.
Ross, you're in a lot of trouble.
I've done nothing wrong.
Now, Mr. Ross, if I told...
It is the oldest confidence game on the books. The Spanish Prisoner. A man who supplies the money gets...
Good people, bad people. They generally look like what...
Campbell Scott anchors the film with a careful, restrained performance while Steve Martin delivers a surprisingly smooth and mysterious presence, and their interactions slowly construct a puzzle that becomes clearer piece by piece. What makes the experience memorable is the way Mamet's dialogue works like a magician's sleight of hand, guiding the audience through layers of deception until the final reveal clicks together and rewards anyone who paid close attention along the way.
I'm trying to understand!
Number 17, we have 8mm, which arrived in 1999 with Nicolas Cage stepping into a darker corner of the thriller genre.
Private Detective Tom Wells is one of the only people who has seen it. It is 8mm wide. It runs at 16 frames per second. And he has been hired to discover.
All I want is to know that this atrocity is false. I want the proof of it.
if what's on it is real.
The story follows a private investigator who becomes obsessed with uncovering the truth behind a disturbing film, and that search drags him through places most thrillers barely hint at. Paige plays the role with a quiet intensity that grows heavier as the investigation continues, and the atmosphere grows darker with every step deeper into the mystery. What gives this film its staying power is the way it refuses to make the journey feel heroic, because the deeper the truth emerges, the more uncomfortable the story becomes, leaving a sense of unease that still hits just as hard today. Number 16, we have Shattered, released in 1991. A car accident leaves a man with no memory of his life, and Tom Berenger spends the entire film trying to rebuild his identity while strange details keep pushing him toward an unsettling realization. Wolfgang Petersen directs the story with a careful pace that allows small discoveries to carry real weight, which means each clue feels like a step closer to a truth that may not be welcome. What keeps this thriller gripping is the way the mystery unfolds through memory and perception rather than constant action, and by the time the pieces finally lock together, the story delivers a reveal that lands with surprising force. Number 15 brings us to The Machinist, released in 2004. Christian Bale's transformation into the exhausted factory worker Trevor Resnick immediately grabs attention, yet the real strength of the film lies in how it captures the unsettling feeling of living inside a mind that has not slept for far too long.
Trevor, can I ask you something? Is someone chasing you? You okay?
Don't I look okay?
If you were anything, are you?
I need to see you now. But they will when they find out who I am. Not yet. But they will when they find out who I am.
Oh, really? You wouldn't exist? What's wrong?
I don't know. Deja vu. Something happens. I need someone to know. Hey!
Is someone chasing you?
Not yet.
Who are you?
Director Brad Anderson fills the world with muted colors and uneasy silences that mirror Trevor's collapsing mental state, and every strange encounter pushes the story further into uncertainty. What nobody expects at first is how carefully the clues hide within the environment, because when the truth finally surfaces, the entire experience reshapes itself into a haunting psychological puzzle.
Can't expect me to believe that you see ghosts in your mirrors.
Number 14, we have The Skeleton Key from 2005. Kate Hudson plays a hospice nurse who takes a job in a remote Louisiana plantation house where the atmosphere grows heavier with each locked door and whispered warning she encounters.
Who are you afraid of? Tell me who you're afraid of.
You lay a line down. Is how you tell who the enemies are.
I suggest you leave that house.
Can't hurt you if you don't believe.
We've been waiting for you, Caroline.
I don't believe. I don't believe. No, I don't believe. It's real. It's all real.
The setting carries a thick Southern Gothic mood that quietly builds tension while the story introduces elements of local folklore and belief, and that combination gives the film a sense of creeping dread rather than sudden shocks. What gives this thriller its edge is the commitment to slow storytelling, because the final twist lands with enough impact to make viewers rethink everything they thought they understood.
What happened at the motel? People started dying.
Number 13 is Identity, released in 2003. A violent storm traps 10 strangers at a roadside motel, and as the night unfolds, each character begins to realize that their meeting may not be a coincidence at all.
Maybe there's some connection between all of us.
Like what?
My birthday next week.
Me too.
Me too. Yeah.
Director James Mangold weaves together several threads that appear unrelated at first, yet every scene gradually tightens the connection between these people and the mystery surrounding them. What makes the film stand out among puzzle thrillers is how carefully it constructs the reveal, allowing the pieces to fall into place in a way that feels both surprising and strangely inevitable. Number 12 brings us to The Gift, released in 2000 and directed by Sam Raimi. Cate Blanchett leads the story as a woman with psychic abilities who lives in a small southern town where secrets rarely stay buried for long.
You learn to leave folks alone.
Can you see what I'm thinking?
The real danger begins if someone starts worrying.
Academy Award nominee Cate Blanchett, Giovanni Ribisi, and Academy Award winner Hilary Swank.
I got a warning today.
Messing with the devil's gonna get you burned.
Can you see that in the cards?
There's something bad wrong with me.
If I go with that you're gonna have another one of your dreams.
Keanu Reeves, Katie Holmes, with Academy Award nominee Greg Kinnear.
I think somebody's gonna try and kill me.
As the investigation around a missing girl unfolds, the story shifts from quiet character drama into something darker, and every conversation hints at motives hiding beneath the surface. What gives this film its lasting power is the deliberate pacing and the strong performances across the cast, which allow the tension to grow naturally until the final moments deliver a resolution that feels earned. Number 11, we have Dead Calm, a thriller from 1989 that turns the open ocean into a setting filled with quiet dread. Nicole Kidman and Sam Neill play a couple sailing alone when they encounter a mysterious stranger portrayed by Billy Zane, and that meeting slowly transforms their peaceful journey into a dangerous game of survival.
God, you're pretty.
What about those people, huh? There wasn't any food poisoning, was there?
No way! Moscow's on it!
You think I'm making this up?
No, I don't.
You sound so much like them, Ray. It's scary. Yeah.
Director Philip Noyce keeps the story tightly focused on the isolation of the sea, which means every movement aboard the boat carries weight and every decision feels urgent. What keeps the film gripping decades later is how the confined setting magnifies the tension, proving that a small story told well can deliver suspense just as powerful as any large-scale thriller. That's part one, the 20 to 11 stretch of forgotten thrillers that still bite in 2026. If one of these surprised you, drop which one in the comments and why I want to know. Smash the like if you're into rediscovering underrated suspense, and catch part 2 via the I button or the link in the description. Don't miss the top 10.